Hello, my name is Cody. This is going to be my breakdown and review of our week one journal club entry. This week we went over an article that had 5 different works of research in it. All different types of outcomes and methods of research were in this article. Of those 5, we know that there were the musculoskeletal changes during long spaceflight, the impacts, forces, soft tissue vibrations while running, the biomechanics, vaginal birth, physical activity and bone health in adolescence, and how plyometrics can aid with that, and then also biomechanics in arts and entertainment. All these kind of using different pieces of biomechanics and illustrating the broad spectrum that biomechanics does cover. So one of the findings, or some of the main findings from each of the pieces of research, with the spaceflight, the researchers were able to conclude that the losses in bone mineral density from space travel were due to the lack of sufficient mechanical loading on the lower extremities. They saw that there was a lot of muscle atrophy and bone mineral density loss from the astronauts upon return. So they're able to conclude that from the research. The soft tissue vibration research was a bit fuzzy for me, but from what I gathered, they were essentially able to find that the forces that act on the foot during the stance phase act as an input signal to the muscle in the locomotor system um, that will adapt the muscle activity and maintain a preferred joint movement path. And to me, that meant that when you stride or you're in that phase of motion, the body will receive a signal and basically um, make the muscles act in a way to maintain the natural flow um, in an effort to reduce injury. In the childbirth portion, they found that the pelvic floor dysfunction caused by childbirth was due to the strain in the muscles, and so they were able to create the first ever 3D model of the pelvic floor to find the stretch ratio of the vaginal canal. One of the more interesting ones that I found was the physical activity and bone health in the adolescents. Through just doing plyometric activities, it was able to increase bone mineral density in the children, leading to a program called Bounce at the Bell in schools. And then the biomechanics in art article went over how they were able to improve motion capture in movies and video games, so that way it looked as if the characters were acting more natural. So some of the concepts that I was able to recognize and identify were the impact forces from the children, as well as the running. Impact forces are forces that are generated from collision or sudden impact, whether it's with the ground when we step, or if there's an external force that does hit us. Also, the kinematic analysis through the biomechanics in art analyze the ways that the body moves through space. And again, one of the more interesting things that I found was how easily it was to improve the bone mineral density in children through just that few minutes of plyometric activity in a way that the kids would most likely enjoy, um, in an effort to increase or prevent injuries for when they grow older. Um, so one question that I found, or that this article raised for me, was from the tactical standpoint in the military, is what types of research are we doing in biomechanics to aid with injury prevention in service members, whether it's under load or when we are hit with some type of impact, whether it's landing or an impact from some type of IED or something like that. So yeah, that's my entry for this week. Thanks.